Hello fellow makeup lovers, how are you guys doing today? So I am very excited for this video because I'm going to be talking about my experience buying international makeup as someone who lives in the United States. I talk about a lot of international brands on my channel, so I've definitely accumulated some questions over time of customs and currency conversions and how long it takes for a package to get to me and all different questions about international makeup. I figured I would kind of put all those questions, all my tips, all my experiences together and talk about it in a video today. So I'm going to start off by talking and breaking down each country that I bought from, how long it took. Then after that, I will go ahead and jump on into a bunch of tips and my tricks and what I have to say about my experiences from buying international makeup, basically. So let's just go ahead and jump on in. I have a bunch of tips here. I thought this was really funny. My son, every time I'm writing in my notebook, which I personally write in my notebook all the time, like this entire thing is full, because I like taking handwritten notes. I like jotting down like my ideas. I like writing it down. I feel like it feels so much better than writing it on your phone. I guess I'm just a little bit old-fashioned like that. Every time I'm like working on like video ideas or writing stuff down, I give my son his own color book. I give him crayons, I give him whatever his heart desires, and he always ends up coming back to whatever I'm writing. The place that I've bought the most from is definitely England, and England generally is in the Great British Pound. Pound is their currency. And my general rule of thumb, if you are going from US dollars to Great British Pounds, is that it's going to be more than you think. So expect to be paying more, obviously, than what you have in dollars. So the thing with especially England, from my experience, is different brands kind of do shipping different ways. Some brands have all the options open. You can do the cheapest shipping possible and it is untracked, and you're kind of just playing a waiting game. You wait for it to come, you don't know where it is, you don't know what countries it's going through, you don't know anything, you just wait till it arrives. And that is the cheapest option. And then you can keep going up, and most brands do have the more expensive options where it's faster shipping and it's tracked. Some brands only have the more expensive option and you have to do the track shipping, you have to do the faster shipping, you have no other choice if you want to get whatever that brand is selling. So it kind of depends. I see a lot of people kind of lump it together and they're like, oh, buying from England is so expensive. But it really just depends on if you're willing to wait and if that brand in general does have a cheaper shipping option. For example, I recently purchased from Sample Beauty, which I did not realize they still make lashes. I was so annoyed when I found out after I already made the order. But when I bought from it, I think I paid maybe £6 roughly for shipping, and it was untracked. So I just waited for it to arrive, and it actually arrived pretty fast. It only took like a week and a half. So it was cheaper, and they recently announced on their Instagram stories that they took that shipping option away because they want their customers to always be able to know where their package is. So now if I were to buy from Sample Beauty, the only option I would have is to pay for like a 17, 15, something along those lines, pound shipping. So now it's expensive. I have a few different brands written down here. First, I have bought from P. Louise, and it took 2 weeks for my package to get to me, and it was £9.99, which is their standard shipping rate. And then I've also bought from them to do a masterclass, and I think I paid like £40 or something along those lines, and it got to me in 2 days from the day they shipped it. So that kind of gives you an example of how much you pay versus how much you wait. So next I have bought from Blush Tribe, and they take about 2 to 3 weeks for my package to get, and I always buy the cheapest shipping option. Like, I don't want to pay for shipping. Duh. So I paid £3.50 the first order that I made, which was a small palette, and then like a quad. And then the next order that I made, which was like a regular size palette, was £6. So next, I've bought from Berry M, which is like a drugstore type of product for England. I actually am wearing one of their concealers today. It's really, really good. I wish I had bought more than one. It's so light. Like, it's the first drugstore concealer that I found that was light enough for me, and it's really affordable if you lived in England. But the cheapest shipping they have is £20, which is pretty expensive. But it is tracked, and I got it in 2 days. Next, I have bought from Certify, and they take about 2 to 3 weeks to get to me, and the price that I paid was £5.45. I bought 3 different pallets, so it wasn't like a heavy order, but it wasn't like super small either. So I feel like their shipping is pretty decent. And then the last one that I have to mention from England that I can remember right now that I wrote down is September Rose Cosmetics. I just bought 1 palette from them, the Slush palette, and it took 2 weeks to get to me, and I paid £10. And I believe that was untracked. Okay, so now to Australia. General rule of thumb for their currency, the Australian dollar to US dollar, normally it's going to be less than you think it is. I bought from one place, and it is Enchanted Luster Cosmetics, which is an indie brand, and it took only 10 days to get to me, which I thought was really, really good. I was expecting it to take way longer. I paid $6.38 untracked, that's US dollars. When I bought from them, I believe the shipping is actually like 15 Australian dollars, but they had a limited time promo that international shipping was $6 or something. So I believe the company is taking that expense on themselves. They're kind of covering the extra to make it cheaper for us, to motivate you to, buy from them. So although to me it's like, oh, 10 days, only $6, it's really 10 days, like 15 Australian dollars. That's my only experience with Australia so far, unfortunately, but hopefully there's 2 other Australian brands I really want to try. There is one called Lana's Beauty, and I think their shipping's like $20, and then there's another called Glaminatrix, and they have free shipping if you spend like $100 something. So I'm not personally ready, but I will at some point buy from them. But next I want to talk about Canada. Canada has the best conversion rate. If you're going from US dollars to Canadian dollars, you're spending way less than you think you are. Like I spent like $75 in Canadian dollars, and then it ends up being like 50 something US dollars. So it feels like I'm getting a discount even though it's just conversion. So I bought from 2 different Canadian brands. One is M Cosmetics, and it took less than 2 weeks. And the other is Cleona Cosmetics, and it took less than 2 weeks. M Cosmetics, I paid $8.49 Canadian dollars. That's actually a really good shipping price. And that was untracked. And then from Cleona, I paid $5 untracked for the first time I made an order, and it took less than 2 weeks. But that was a promo. Like every once in a while they do deals to where the shipping is cheaper. Normally the shipping is 15 Canadian dollars, which I feel like is one of those things, like I've seen a lot of people complain about their shipping, and I agree it is a little bit higher, but when you think about it, and if you do the conversion from 15 Canadian dollars to US dollars, it's like probably like 11 US dollars for shipping. So it's up there, but it's not horrible unless you're just making a very small order. You want to make it worth it, which we'll talk about in a minute. I also wanted to mention, because they did take not that long, but I know that Canada had a postal strike for a while, and I saw a lot of the Indian brands that are Canadian talking about it and saying, I'm so sorry for delays. It's not in our control. It might have been less if the strike had not been going on, which I believe that the strike has officially ended, but I did want to go ahead and throw that out there. So next I wanted to mention Germany. Euros more than you think, unfortunately. So I only bought from Zoeva Cosmetics. I bought some brushes, and I went so far back in my emails to find how much I paid, because it's been a hot minute since I bought from Zoeva, but I believe it took a few weeks. I can't say for sure because it's been a really long time. And it cost 13.33 euros tracked. So a little bit more on the expensive side. That's probably like 17 US dollars. I'm honestly just estimating, so please don't come for me, but I remember that taking a little bit of time. Shipping was expensive. I think Zoeva has some type of deal now. It might be if you spend over 100 euros or $100, it's free shipping. So lastly, I did want to go ahead and mention really quickly that there are sites, and the one that I know the absolute most is Beauty Bay, where you can purchase through Beauty Bay, and it kind of works. I believe people in Europe can purchase through there, and people in America can purchase, and it kind of has brands from all over. And they do have a few different free shipping options. I believe if you pay like less than $60, you can get free shipping, but it's untracked, and if you pay more than $60, you can get free shipping with tracking. When I got tracked shipping, when I had enough of my order, it took a week to get to me, which was absolutely fine. and it was free shipping, so I had no complaints. When I did untracked shipping, it took 3 weeks to get to me. I thought it was lost in the mail because it says it's only supposed to take 7 days. I also did want to mention really quickly for Beauty Bay that do your research before you buy from them, because I have noticed that some other brands, they kind of up the pricing. Like, for example, if you buy Linda Hallberg, she's on Beauty Bay now, but the price, like her quads, I think that they're normally like $59, and on Beauty Bay they're like $70. In my opinion, it would be worth it to buy 2 items and at their normal price on the Linda Hallberg website than it would be to buy 1 item and get free shipping immediately, but spend like several dollars more. Before you buy, definitely do your research. And, you know, check the conversion rates, check everything, make sure you're getting the best deal for your money. Now let's go ahead and jump on into my tips. And my number 1 tip for everything I'm going to talk about is patience. If you want to buy from an international brand, you're going to want patience. It's not going to come to you in 2 days. So my first tip is to wait for a sale, and this could be just a sale on products. It could be a sale for like special shipping prices, like I said that Cleona has done, and Enchanted Luster Cosmetics did. Wait for the prices to be lower. Again, that's patience because you don't know when it's going to happen, but if you are wanting to buy something, you're wanting it for a long time, I would wait and see if they do some type of specials, or if it's just, like I said, if it's just the product being discounted, it kind of takes away from the cost of the shipping if the shipping is high. So next, my tip is to go for the untracked shipping, because I personally have never had a problem. I've never had a package get lost, and I've made so many different international orders, so I feel like it doesn't happen that often. I wouldn't be super scared about it. I mean, it's kind of a risk. I guess it is a risk, but I would take the risk. I would save the money. Unless it's like a really, really expensive order, then maybe go for tracked, but overall I've never had a bad experience. My next tip is to buy in bulk, and this basically just means get what you want all at the same time. If there's a product you already know that you love, maybe buy a backup, maybe buy an extra, to help with the shipping cost, make it worth it so that you don't have to buy that same product in 3 months and pay for that same higher shipping rate. Or if it's a new brand that you really want to try, make sure you get, you know, a little bit of everything that you want to get, and just wait longer. Make sure that you have a full list, because if you're buying like $5 worth of something and you're paying $10 shipping, then obviously the shipping is way too high for a $5 item. But if you spend $50 and you add $10 on top, it kind of evens itself out a little bit, at least in my opinion. So that's what I've done, is when it's something more expensive, like with Berry M, I paid the 20 euros for shipping. I got a ton of stuff to try from them because I knew I wasn't going to be buying from them for a long time because shipping is so expensive. My next tip is to watch a ton of reviews. Be prepared, know what you want, look for swatches, look for reviews, look for tutorials, because if you're going to pay that much, if you're going to wait that long, just make sure that what you're getting is what you really want. In Europe, you can't return items, so I'm assuming that most European places that you're buying from, you can't do returns. So just make sure whatever you're spending your money on is something you truly, truly want, and you know what you're getting so that you're not disappointed. Another tip that involves patience is to wait for Beauty Bay. If they do normally have, you know, the same prices at whatever brand you're looking for, Beauty Bay might be a good idea. If it is something that's a really expensive shipping, you can get the free shipping. I also wanted to talk about PayPal for a second. So this is going to be, I'm going to do a video on like indie starter, like my first, like 5 indie brands to start with, some products I would recommend, something like that, and talk about, you know, how to get started in buying indie brands. But my number 1 tip for any purchase that you make is to go through PayPal, because if you have a problem, PayPal claims are so easy. They make it so simple. Like even if the company does you dirty and they don't want to help you, PayPal will help you. So please, 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 if PayPal is an option, go through PayPal, because they will save your butt. I wanted to talk about conversion and currency, and this goes with the PayPal thing. So when you go on Google and you do a currency conversion, it might seem all fine and dandy, but then if you go and make the purchase, it's most of the time, if it's pounds or euros, it's going to be more when it charges through your account, because the Google rates seem to be nicer than the rate you're actually going to get. I don't know why, but that's just what I've learned. I've also learned that if you go through PayPal and you go through a debit card, I can't speak to a credit card, but I know a debit card, the conversion rate is worse. Like, it goes through PayPal's conversion rate. I don't know how to explain this. This is just what I've seen. I don't know. Hopefully you guys are getting this. The rate is worse, so it'll cost you more. But if you go through PayPal and you link your bank account, I found that it stays a little bit more true, not as high as what PayPal would have charged, because it's going through what your bank charges, which can kind of be funny. It depends on your bank. I personally have USAA, and they have pretty solid conversion rates, but they are a military-based bank, so I would assume that they kind of maybe they have better rates because they have people all over. I don't know. That's just my experience, is that if I go through the bank account, it's always cheaper than going through PayPal's through a debit card. Like I said, I still go through PayPal, but I linked my bank account. If that makes any sense. I hope it makes sense. I'm like second guessing myself right now. So that's what I found through PayPal. That's what I like to do. You know, I mean, it just saves a few dollars here and there, but still a few dollars. And then I also wanted to mention one last thing that I see all the time, and it does really bug me, because I guess I understand it. Indie brands specifically have no control over shipping. They have no control over the price. They're not big enough to get deals with like the postal company or something. Like, they're just giving you what they're being charged. They're not trying to make extra money. Like, I feel like so many people have like directed disappointment and everything at indie brands for the prices of their shipping, and I get it. You're frustrated, but they have no control over it. You could complain all day long till the cows come home, is that the saying? And it won't change a thing. Like, they can't do anything to change the shipping rate that they are given from the postal company, and they're not like trying to like make extra money. All right, last but not least, I wanted to answer the most requested question, which is customs, asking about customs. Have I been charged them? How much were they? All those kind of things. I have never ever been charged with customs. I don't know why. Don't know. I'm happy about it, but I've never been charged with customs, so I thought I would throw that out there. Obviously, if you're making an order, I would be wary. Like, if you only have like $5 left in your bank account, maybe don't make that order if you're scared about getting hit with customs. Maybe worry about other things, but I've never been hit with customs, so I did want to go ahead and let you guys know that. So that is everything for today's video. If you have any questions at all, please feel free to let me know. Leave them down below, and I will answer them to the best of my ability. This is just my personal experience, my personal tips, and if you have been looking into buying international brands, I think it's definitely worth it to branch out, take a little risk. That's my version of a risk. Oh, I'm buying something from England! Oh my gosh, I'm so crazy! Alright, so I hope you guys enjoyed. I'll see you in the next one. Bye. What's it called? A bank. Are you That was lovely. And that is the cheapest that is the cheapest I kinda just waited for it to get here. Sorry. I have the funniest cough. So I just but the cheapest. Moving on down under to Australia. Someone sue me. And I can't say exactly fully Australian like what it is. If you go through a credit card, they'll use PayPal's sorry, debit card. I don't use credit cards. Those are the devil. You know who is trying to make extra money? Kim Kardashian. She charges $9 for every order. $9 does not cost $9 to ship a lip gloss, okay?